Welcome to TradersArmy.com, defending your right to build wealth and preserve capital for generations to come. Yeah, Friday morning. Welcome everybody to the Daily Market Commentary. I am your host, Chuck Fulkerson. Hope everybody had an absolutely amazing trading day yesterday. For those of you new to the channel, welcome. We look at the same 10 to 12 futures markets every day, identifying potential breakout trades and turning points from an educational perspective. If you are new, do me a favor, click that subscribe button so you get the updates as they come available. If you're a returning guest, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, give me a comment. Just something so that the YouTube super machine knows that human beings are actually watching this thing. All right, let's go ahead and get rolling. So yesterday we had a live trading room at TradersArmy.com, and we were looking at a couple of different positions, and one of them was this S&P level. So those of you that watch the video on a regular basis, you know I have talked about this level. And let me pull this up on a 4-hour time period. I've talked about this level for a while, and it was this area going all the way back to here, was this move down from this level. Now, we've come into the level, and I had set up an alert to say, hey, when we get into here, you may want to go short. However, as price arrived to the level, we got a little bit more basing. We've come into that zone, and we didn't quite touch 2,600. We just came really close. 2599.5 was the high, and I had an alert there at 2,600. And so this to me is not an entry because we frankly didn't quite get to that halfway point, and we didn't trigger that. And even if we did, if you notice, we've gone sideways for a number of candlesticks in a row. So what I'm going to do now is remove that level. To me, that level is not as valid of an entry. It does potentially set up for a breakout long. This is exactly how I find some of my best breakout trades are levels of supply that eventually break down where there could be a better opportunity. Now, the other level that I had spoken about yesterday was a potential short below this 25.59 level. And even when we look at this on the bigger picture, what we can see is we're still buyers, right? No question that I have higher swing highs and higher swing lows. Our momentum is definitely waning, right? Our momentum is definitely waning. But you know, slowing momentum doesn't always mean that we're going to come in reverse and go the other way. Matter of fact, yesterday I was looking at a potential that if we did get a pullback below this 25.59, that would kind of act as a little bit of a floor. And I've just been joined by a brand new guest host. Charlie is here.
I was joined at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock in the morning. A 7-year-old is up taking a look at the markets. What did your day start off with? No, but so Charlie, take a look at this level right here. So if we look at this bottom right here, where price has hit and went up and hit and went up, this is acting as the, what's that act? The floor. And when after price hits the floor, what's it going to do? Which direction is it going to go?
Up.
No, after it goes through the floor.
Oh, down.
And what does it do after it goes down? What does it look for?
A new floor.
Right.
Which probably would be that green line down there.
Right. So 25.34 would be the new floor. Now this is I really like this level for a potential long, because this would be where we could theoretically see a pretty strong reversal, right? And that strong reversal would be because this is the origin of a move higher. And we talk about, you know, one of the ways that I teach Charlie is we teach about slides and mountains, right? And a great way to think about it is that a mountain, if we look at the base of a mountain, these are all, you know, little mountain ranges. So think about this as a mountain range. And whenever we get back to the base, so this is the base of a mountain. And when we get back to the base of a mountain, prices are probably going to go which way, Charlie?
Up.
Up. And who takes over when prices go up? The bulls. The bulls. And what button do we push?
Buy.
All right, push the buy button. So once again.
Oh, wait a minute. Where is the buy button?
Not on this page.
Okay.
So, but in the meantime, today there's a chance that we're kind of hitting our head on a ceiling. So on the 1 hour time period, we can see that we have a ceiling just above us at 25.98. So if I break above the ceiling, this could be a good opportunity. You know, we look for room to roam on a breakout. Now we do have this area up in here that could be a potential stalling point. But we have another kind of ceiling up a bit higher, and this was an area that we had identified a while ago for a potential breakout to the upside. So if we do break out, there's plenty of room to roam. Now, it is a Friday, and so always be cautious of holding positions over a weekend. You know, and I don't, not having any political bias here in the way that I say this, we're always one tweet away from a 20-point gap. And so my biggest risk is a gap. And so I am not necessarily going to hold any of these positions over the weekend because I don't want to take any undue gap risk. So there's the S&P level for today. Nasdaq, you see something very similar where we've got a potential breakout above the ceiling.
The Nasdaq is basically almost going all the way down. It doesn't seem like it's going up or anything.
Well, we had a big move down in the Nasdaq here, but it is going up. But notice that as it's gone up, it was going up with a really nice angle all through here. But now that angle has kind of flattened out, right? And that flattening out means it's kind of like when you throw a ball up in the air, right? When we throw a ball up in the air, is it getting faster as it goes up in the air, or is it getting slower?
Slower.
Right. And so a ball that's slowing down as it goes up in the air, once it slows down enough, it will eventually start to go which way?
Down.
Right. So, and that's what we could see in the Nasdaq. The big picture, which is we look at the 4 hour to tell us whether we're a buyer or whether we're a seller. The 4 hour is still in that strong upward momentum, right here, because it hit the bottom of a mountain and started to go
up.
All right, so that's
then soon it's gonna go down.
Right, that's basically what happens in all markets. It goes up until it doesn't. Now, let's look at crude oil. So in crude oil yesterday, we had talked about a little reversal trade inside of the trading room, and it was off of this little area here. And we came back into that level, got a really nice rally off of that area. Now, on a smaller time period, if you go all the way down to the 15-minute chart, if you're really a sniper, then you caught the absolute bottom of that wick because of this little wick over wick demand area right in here. If you're an absolute sniper, but if you had the level in place on the hourly chart and you gave yourself enough room, because remember you always got to give yourself some room inside of here, then there was the opportunity for the reversal off of this level right in here. So that turned out to be a pretty good little runner throughout most of the day. We've now kind of peaked off and starting to come down. So if I look at this on a 15-minute chart, where can I see another potential to get long? Well, we have this little area here that this was formed at about 1:30 in the morning off this 15-minute level. This is the area that I would look at for today. And it would be, you got to take the bottom of this pivot, 52.47 by 52.68. There could be another chance to get long inside of crude oil. Now, my fear is that we're slightly overextended, and by being slightly overextended, it may have gone up too far too fast. But you could get a little reversal back into this level. This is a 15-minute level, so obviously we've got a slightly lower degree of probability whenever I'm using these 15-minute levels, so I need to change the color on this piece.
Hey, Daddy, are we going to look at the gold market?
Yeah, let's take a look at gold. So crude oil, I think that could be a pretty decent level. If you're a little bit concerned with it because it's pretty close to kind of current price and we're kind of coming down into it, we are a little overextended, you may want to take this as a confirmation style entry if you've got a bit more concern with it. But let's take a look at gold as per the request of Charlie. So yesterday in gold, I will tell you, this is the most frustrating thing maybe on this planet of Earth. is when you've got a really nice level set up and it just misses by a tick. Leave a comment down below if you ever were actually able to get your crude oil or your gold long filled yesterday. I was not. I missed out on the trade by just a smidge. Price came super close to the level, reversed, and then boom, rallied up throughout most of the day after that point. Because gold was coming down into our area. Now, where did that level come from? Well, I found that level on a 15-minute chart. And on that 15-minute chart, the level that I'd wrap my lines around was this little bit of basing in the midst of this strong rally. Now, on an hourly chart, that looks just like a little wick over wick demand area where we can see this long wick up, this lower wick down. The mistake I made, and I'll call it a mistake, but it's not really a mistake. I followed my rules. So when you follow your rules, you don't make mistakes. You just didn't get filled. Had I wrapped my lines around the entire area, meaning including the wicks of these candlesticks, right? Now had I wrapped my area around the wicks, my area would have gotten filled and price would have moved away from there. My rule is when I draw a level, I typically don't expect. I don't typically, take those extreme wicks because I'm a bit more conservative in my entries. I want to take a little bit less risk. And this is a zone. And remember, when price comes to a zone, Charlie, what do we expect it to do? If it goes down going into the zone, what do we expect it to do?
It goes around and up.
Right, back up.
Turns around. I'm not going that way. And up.
Right. It's a reversal. We call that a reversal. Potential for a reversal. So now, what am I looking at on gold for today? I'm going to leave this 15-minute level in place, even though we came close to it. I am, however, going to change it to a confirmation style entry, and I'm going to change it to a confirmation style entry because I don't believe that it is as highly probable. What I've found is that if we come close to a level and the area doesn't get filled, the second time around, I'm a little bit more conservative in how I would take it, and that's kind of what I'm looking at now. I still think it's valid. When I look at the 4-hour chart of gold, our upward momentum has stalled. We're now in a sideways price pattern. So I think the best thing to do is to just kind of leave it be for just a smidge. Looking at bonds here, the ZN, which is our bond level. So the level that I talked about yesterday in the live trading room was this area of supply up above. We have come back into that supply and are starting to move away from that level as we speak. It was, let me pull this up. It was on a 15-minute chart. For some reason, I was having a hard time changing the colors. And price has come back into it and started to move down and away. So that level's been clearly used up. So I've got to remove that line because that 15-minute level did indeed get all used, but it wound up being a really nice reversal trade yesterday. If I look at it on an hourly chart, you can see that we've come close to getting our order filled, and we didn't, and now it's come back again, and this should be switched to a confirmation style entry as we came close to that level and were unable to get that trade filled. Next, the Aussie. So in our Aussie dollar, we had a potential breakout above this area, and the Aussie dollar has hit its breakout point. We hit the level, we based a little bit, and then we've moved up from there. Now, those of you that do trade breakouts, breakouts. When I draw the blue line and it's above price, the breakout acts as the what, Charlie?
Ceiling.
The ceiling. And when price breaks above the ceiling, what does it do? Keeps going which way?
Up.
Up. And
like the zone is going to turn it back around, but wait here, it's going to break
through the ceiling.
We're going to get a lot of mess in here.
A lot of mess? I don't know about a mess, but I think that we've got a little bit of a breakout, and that the next real stopping point would be the zone up here. And when it hits a zone, what do we anticipate may happen?
Turns around, breaks through,
and it goes down,
and keeps going down. Boom, 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 boom. Break.
Right.
And keeps going down, 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 down.
Yes.
That won't be a good sign, right?
Well, that would be if it broke through all those floors, and that's a potential. However, when I look at this on the big picture, remember the big picture is what tells me am I a buyer or am I a seller? You know, this breakout area that we've just hit, I think there's room for price to make it all the way up to here. However, I would take first profits at about 72.62 on that breakout because you've got a little bit of a 4-hour resistance point here that that could slow you down. So keep an eye on that area. So that one is one that got the breakout at the moment. The euro yesterday, the euro hit our reversal entry. So if anybody caught that euro trade, leave me a comment, let me know down below. Came down and hit first target. Broke down below where I thought maybe we could get another bite at the apple. We've kind of popped back up. The breakout didn't fail because it didn't go above the prior pivot yet. And so if you did get short on this breakout, you're still in it. It's kind of meh, moving sort of. But I think that we could continue the next leg down to this area here for our target. So this euro reversal worked out really well. If you're not short, I think you can get short below this area again. I think there's another chance to get short below that area right there. Canadian dollar, we've got a reversal point down here. If price comes back into here for a potential long, as well as a reversal point up above. Not a whole lot to add to that one. Finally, the Great British Pound and the Japanese Yen.
And the copper, right?
Yep, and copper. I don't normally cover copper every day on the DMC, but looking at the Great British Pound, we've come into the pound level, activated the trade, and then it's moved away. So for those of you that trade the pound, our confirmation short has been triggered. Smoked into that level. You want to talk about a good arrival, that's what's called a good arrival. It was a 90-degree move into the level. Price hit the area that would have activated the trade, and then it came back down out of it, and that's what executes the order. And then we enter you're entering the position somewhere right around here, and price is now starting to move down. Now, this is a kind of a parabolic move that we had up into that level, so be quick to move your stop. Sometimes those speed candles to the upside that immediately get reversed, I think that, your profit target at least should be down at 28.01. If we make it down to there, then we've done a really good job. But I would even take my stop and move it down to break even at this point because we did break above that resistance. Just lock in some of that profit as you have it. Japanese yen, we have a small breakout short below this area here. Price has not come back into that. And we've seen the yen kind of chop sideways overnight, so nothing I want to add to the Japanese yen. As far as copper goes, we did identify a little copper level yesterday in the live trading room. That one, unfortunately, has gone beyond our level and hit what would reasonably be pretty much anybody's stop out point, but now is starting to reverse and come back down. So since it's reversing and coming back down, this is not going to start a new trend unless it can get us lower than all of this basing. And so for now, I'm kind of in a wait and see pattern. So I know we went a bit longer today, but I wanted to really spend some time and truly analyze those particular levels. And it's Friday, so I hope everybody has an absolutely amazing weekend. For those of you that are tradersarmy.com subscribers, I will see you on the Sunday night live trading room. Everybody else, I will see you on the daily market commentary Monday morning. And if you're not a subscriber, go to tradersarmy.com, learn a little bit more about what we do, and I'd love to see you join us.
Push the subscribe button.
See y'all.